This is the Dueling Piano Players Podcast, episode 12. Welcome to the Dueling Piano Players Podcast, where we help you get the edge in the dueling piano world. This is Johnny K.
This is Joel Randolph.
How you doing, everybody?
What's up?
I guess they can't really answer. They're listening.
They can try anyway.
They can respond. You can email us, admin@duelingpianoschool.com. Go to duelingpianoschool.com. Check it out. Modules are popping up left and right, along with all kinds of fresh, good content. And
Speaking of fresh, good content, Johnny, before we get into what we're talking about today, I've really been looking forward to seeing some requests from our listeners for stuff that they want to see pop up on here. And other than people that I personally know, I haven't seen anything. So I just want to take this opportunity to remind you, please send us some emails, even if it's just to let us know that you were on and you checked some stuff out. But if there's something that you are specifically having trouble with, or even not having trouble, you just want a different perspective on, let us know, because we've got the resources to help you get those answers.
absolutely. We also have plenty of space to leave comments. If you're signed up, you can send emails through the site. You can also kind of network with the other players that are online. And we really haven't been doing too much. We've been kind of working a lot of production behind the scenes, not necessarily
Focusing
directly
on getting some of our modules up. And
yeah, so we haven't really been able to be too interactive on the site. And I can understand that when you don't see anything popping up every day, then it'll be it's like, okay, I've already seen this. There's really nothing else to talk about. But that's up to you guys. We have this forum that is wide open, ready for discussion. Anything you guys want to get on there. In fact, I think we're going to start getting on there and probably putting in our own topics, setting up some discussions that people can start having. And we want to get some more emails out to you, let you know what's coming up and what's happening. And, like Joel just said, we're finishing up these modules, getting everything set up so that when you come in, you have a clear, concise guide to help you from step one all the way to, well, there's going to be 6 modules, so step 6, but the steps never really end. And so let us know what you'd like to see more of, what you'd like to learn a little bit more about, and we'll help you out.
I know something everybody wants to know more about, and that is, how can I make more money?
How can we all make more money? That's the goal, right?
I have an idea, Johnny.
What's that?
Be valuable.
Yeah. How do you increase your value? I mean, to increase your money, you have to be more valuable. You can't just walk in and demand more money because you think you're worth it. You need to be worth it.
Something happened this week, Johnny, at a player meeting that we had, where we were discussing that, and the topic the idea here that I want to get across to some people is pay for playing piano, especially doing this job. Once you get going, it can be pretty good, and even when it's bad, it's still pretty good if you compare it to the economy in some places. And some people trying to get more of a raise for themselves and from their clubs, and I can always appreciate going after more money, but for a club to give you, as I kind of did some quick math, to give all 4 of our players a $25 a week raise means that they would have to fire 1 manager or 2 assistant managers just to pay for us to get $25 a week. Now,
that's not a night. That's a week, right?
That's a week. Now, for your value, to replace a manager or 2 assistant managers every week, you better be pretty valuable. And I'm not saying it can't be done, but you're looking at, generating that club an extra $10,000 a week to get to you that 25. Now, it doesn't mean you'll never get it, but the thing is, you need to consider your value to the other people that you're working for is not necessarily the same value that you would attribute to yourself. And having some idea of what those things are that increase your value to your club owners, your entertainment director, and your other players, that's how you're going to get that money, not only on your paycheck and consistently, not where you're always scrambling for week to week for work, but also in your tip jar and just in general well-being, because you know where you're working for the next 6 months because people want you there because you're worth the money that they're giving to you.
And I think the mindset that comes from this idea of I just deserve more money because I've been here so long is because in society, if you work somewhere for a year, then at the end of the year, you tend to get a raise, or after so many days, you just tend to get a raise because you've been there longer. And then the kind of raises that they're getting are like 10 cents an hour more in their paycheck, not $25 a night or not $25 a week. And they don't really have to do much more other than the fact that they are in there every single day being conditioned to, this is how we do things, and thusly they're being more productive. But what are you doing to be more productive, or how much more valuable are you that you feel that you are worthy of this raise? And that's the kind of stuff we're going to dive into now.
Right. And one way that you need to look at that I find a lot of players, myself included, forget about, especially when you start playing price war between, am I going to stay a vigilante and out there making all that money is gunslinging from one club to another? Am I going to try and pick a place that maybe doesn't pay me as much, but I like the place, and the atmosphere is good and I like the city, these kind of things you're looking at. The club has to have their doors open and your paychecks to cash in order for you to make any money at all. So you should really be concerned with, am I making this club money, or am I just being a prima donna and demanding that they pay me no matter what? And I've found that, there are some clubs that can track who's on stage and what the sales are while that person is performing, and don't think that they don't look at that stuff, and they know who is worth their money. So are you putting money in their till, or are you putting it in your own pocket? And what do you think they're going to think of that?
And you have to be able to make your club money. That's the only way you're going to make money. Where do you think your paychecks come from? Your club has to be making money, which means your club has to be successful. And it's a business. And anytime that I go into work, I always ask myself, what's going to be the best for business tonight, or what is good for business? So now you have to create a little bit more value for your club and for your entertainment director.
Simple ways to be valuable to your club are, just follow the rules that they have. Whether you agree with them or not isn't important. Whether they're going to work for the club or not really isn't important. What is important is that club knows that with this particular person, I don't have any problems with them showing up on time or saying things over the microphone we don't want them to say, or wearing clothes that we don't want them to wear. This person does what we want, good. I've got other stuff to worry about. That's a real simple one, showing up on time, wearing the clothes that they say, the rapport with the audience that they have. This is a club, right or wrong, they have in their mind what they want there. And in the end, it's their money that's going to pay you. So do it.
Right. Absolutely. Do it. Follow the rules, if that's be on time, and follow their dress code that they have for their musicians, the rapport that you're supposed to have with your audience or with staff, if you're supposed to behave a certain way, if they ask you not to say certain things and they ask you to do certain things like plugging drink specials, plugging your slow night, whatever that's going to be.
Yeah,
do those things. If they bring up a note,
they notice. They notice when a player is helping them put money in their till by announcing nights that, the player's not even scheduled. Hey, next Tuesday, DJ night, or I don't care what's going on at the club, but if you know what those things are and make that announcement, they notice that stuff. And whether they can count how much dollars go in their till from that or not matters. It doesn't matter. They say, that guy's a team player, and that I like.
Sure, they can tell over time that, when there's more money in the register at the end of the night because this guy was working, and when he's not there, that money's not there. Well, they can put two and two together real quick, and they can also tell by the reaction of the audience. And guess what? If people like you, they'll go out of their way to go tell your manager, hey, we really like this guy. We just wanted to let you know that. If you do that good of a job, you'll hear about it. So be valuable to your club. Follow the rules.
Quick way to know what those rules are and how the club wants you to act is, by following the example of your entertainment director, and being on the good side of the person that books the room and has the ear of the owners or agency or both, as it may be. You want to be a team player for that person, and just like you're thinking of putting dollars in the till at the club, you want to make life easy on this entertainment director. He's got a job to do. He or she has people above them telling them what they want out of the players and out of the show, and they have to deliver it, whether they agree with it or not.
a simple basic belief that you can start practicing is the more money I make my club and the more money I make my entertainment director, the more money I'm going to make for myself. And when you have that kind of belief in place, you start to do more things like show up a little bit early or clean up the stage, make it look nice
Johnny
and pretty.
used to always show up early and clean the stage off. And he said to me, I've been showing up early and cleaning up the stage. I said, well, I guess somebody was, because I wasn't doing it anymore. And the point was that's not necessarily mean you get a raise, but you are increasing your value. Mm-hmm. And when those raises get handed out, and they don't very often, you want to be the one that they're considering giving it to because you're worth it.
And, a simple thing like wiping off the pianos before the night starts, that may seem like you're going way out of your way and you deserve a lot of praise for it. But if you do it enough, that just seems like an automatic, easy practice that you come in and it only takes you a second to do. And you do a bunch of those, and all of a sudden your value starts increasing.
Wait staff notices, especially if it's their job to clean up the pianos and you've left shot glasses up there and spilled drinks on the piano. There's dust everywhere and tip requests, song requests thrown everywhere. If they don't have to do that because one of the piano players did, you are now golden in the staff. And hey, little advice from me to everybody here: get the staff on your side. Be their friend.
You mean the wait staff and the bartenders and the managers notice these things?
I do. The cleaning crew left a very nasty note that we were not to clean off the stage. That was his job. Because he found about $120 worth of tips that we didn't notice because we just threw them on the ground, wrapped up in a. So their union rules, we were not allowed to clean the stage because that was making his insurance payment.
How about
Anyway, back to following your entertainment director's lead. He's got some pressure from the higher ups making him do what needs to be done, and you'll know what that is by watching what he or she does.
Yep, watch what they do and listen to them follow the leader.
When they kick into the show, you kick into the show. When they lay back a little bit, you lay back a little bit. Hopefully you're in enough contact, if it's a place you're working with a lot, that you know what those directives are. But if not, and you're a traveling player and you come in, just watch what that person does. Are they telling dirty jokes? Then maybe that's okay. If they're not, then you absolutely don't. Are they dressed nice? Then you dress nice. That's real easy, and the entertainment director will notice that and say, this guy has no problems to work with. I have other stuff to deal with. I want no problems. This guy is worth the money.
Sure, the less stress that you give the management, the club owners, and the entertainment director, the more they're going to love you. The more problems you give them, the more they're going to say, well, I think we can get somebody else, can't we?
Or if it comes up to, we have other people to get, why would we choose this guy again? Let's see if this person over here is going to be a better fit. And that's not what you want. You don't want, well, maybe they'll call me. You want, nope, call that guy.
Yeah, I think both you and I have been both of those people.
Either or. Probably still have some of that still left in us.
I have definitely been that guy several times. So they're like, yeah, you know what? We can just not call Johnny K this week. Let's call somebody else.
Well, and there's another thing to think about, that as you're trying to increase your value to the club and to your entertainment director, those other players that work there have to want you there again too. I've been in lots of situations where the owners and the management liked me just fine, and the other players and I just didn't get along for whatever reason. And when it came time, are they going to call me back? Or are they going to try somebody they never heard of before? Mm-hmm. Well, I haven't heard from them.
Right. The other players definitely will have an impact on. They'll have a say in whether or not you come back to that club. So
I can tell you a thing I noticed that bothered me about those places, or where the friction was. It wasn't even a bother. The audience probably never knew anything about it, but it's just when it comes to choices, do I play there again? Are they calling me back? You've got to have your head in the game, and not only that, the other players have to have their head in the game for you. So I had to make a decision at that point. Am I gonna buckle under and just follow their lead, or am I just not going to play there anymore? And as I said, I don't hear from them. But
right.
The point is to have your head in the game and know what's going on with those other players. What kind of show are they trying to do? And how much help are they willing to or capable of giving you, so that you know what kind of show you're going to do to pace right along with those other players.
Sure, and help them out. Help them out by, organizing requests or setting them up when they come up.
Huge thing when we don't really even bring traveling players much into our club, just because we've got a close-knit team and the way that we like things done. And when somebody else comes in, they tend to just do whatever they want to, and they don't help us, and they just think that now it's their show. But some places that is the show, but here it isn't, and I'm not knocking or promoting it. I'm saying that that's not the case. And as a player, you need to be aware what kind of show is going on here. If you went into, there's a place that I can't name because they don't want me to say the name, that if you went in there and tried to do the same kind of show that you were to do in another place where they probably don't want us to say the name, you can't do that. One's a college town and one's a resort town. And those are different shows. And as a traveling player, or as a player that wants to work there or is working there, you better know what that is by having your head in the game, watching the players that you're used to, and see how they run the show. Then you present your own flavor to that, of course.
Yep. Definitely. And you want to sense the vibe of the room, sense the vibe of the other players, and, go with that flow and make sure everybody's smiling, and that you can be relied upon, that you can still be entertaining, and that they're not carrying you all night. And, that's just all part of having your head in the game. So be valuable.
Yeah, I can tell you one thing, Johnny, in the dueling piano business, at least, I have never asked for a raise. It's always been, here, we're going to give you this much more money because we want you to do this now, whether I'm getting a promotion or playing for a different chain or whatever it is. The money's just been offered to me. I've never had to ask for it. I was told a long time ago, be more valuable, do more than what you're paying for. And it's unfortunate, when I had my little stints outside of music into the corporate retail sales world and some management things I learned there, a lot of employees, and that's what we are essentially, they tend to have the mindset that I'm not going to do that stuff until they pay me more money. Well, I can tell you from the opposite side, they are not going to pay you more money for doing the same thing you've been doing. So you have to start doing more if you want more money. And whether you get that money or not, so what? You did a good job. And I can tell you that goes a long way in your morale. When you start improving your morale, then your performance improves. And when that money shows up, you're going to be the one that gets it.
I'll guarantee the money will show up. You will see it. If you increase your value, you will see it. If you don't see it in your paycheck the first week, you'll see it in your tip jar, or you'll see it in the eyes of the people that you're working with. Value can come in many different ways, and it doesn't necessarily have to be dollars and cents. It can be reputation. It can be many things.
Consistency and peace of mind can be worth a lot, too. I remember talking with a friend's band and snubbing us because his band made $200 more a night than my band did. However, we worked 4 times as much as that band did.
Right.
8 times in a month instead of twice in a month. So, who was the higher paid band? You kind of need to figure that one. I make this much a night, but I played one night this month, as opposed to, you could work for 1/15 of that and double your income.
Well, cool. I think that's about... I think we touched on everything. Is there anything else we want to add?
You now all owe us 15% of your income for having listened to our speech.
Or you can just become a basic student over at duelingpianoschool.com and get signed up if you haven't already been signed up. And come join us. We're having a lot of fun over here. And like we said, we'd like to hear from you guys. If you got some questions, if you'd like some things, if you'd like to hear us talk about something specific, let us know. We've been around the block. We've gotten really great gigs. We've also gotten in a lot of trouble. We've done everything good and everything bad that you are about to do. So might as well skip all that and come find out from us first, and save yourself some time and some headaches in the process. And I guess that's it for now. We'll see you next time. I'm Johnny K.
I'm Joel Randolph.
DuelingPianoSchool.com. See you guys. DuelingPianoSchool.com.